Session of the August 15th, 2023 meeting to order at 6 p.m. All council members are present. Welcome to our guests and visitors. We provide an opportunity for the public to address the City Council on any agenda item or during the hearing of visitors portion of the agenda. On items other than public hearings, speakers will be allotted 1 3-minute presentation, regardless of the number of agenda items the speaker wishes to address. If you're here to speak and have not filled out a registration card, please see the City Secretary staff at the registration table outside of the auditorium so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation and staff will distribute those to council. If you're unable to approach the podium due to physical limitations, a microphone is available to be brought to you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. First item of business is to consider the minutes of the August 1st, 2023 regular City Council meeting. These minutes were provided to you in your meeting packet. Are there any corrections? Nope. If none, those minutes will stand approved as submitted. And next we have public hearing 2023-581.
Hello, Jeremy Cassina with Economic Development. Honorable Mayor and City Council, this is a public hearing on an ordinance amending the project and financing plan for reinvestment zone number 1 for tax increment financing to consider approving an increase of $17,389,649 for city projects in association with the Brazos Riverfront Development, aka the Brazos Promenade Project, Catalyst Urban Development LLC, Catalyst Urban Waco Development 1, LLC, Catalyst Urban Waco Development 2, LLC, and or Catalyst Urban Waco Development 3, LLC, collectively Catalyst, pursuant to Chapter 311 of the Texas Tax Code, and authorizing the city manager to execute any documents in connection therewith, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to you on first reading. On July 20th, 2023, the TIF Board voted 3-2 to support an amendment to the project and finance plan for TIF Zone Number 1 to incorporate net increases reported in the April 27, 2023 financial report of $9.3 million, plus an additional $8.36 million per the July 20th, 2023 financial report for a total net increase to the TIF financing plan of $17.39 million. As required by law, notice of this public hearing was published in the Waco Tribune Herald on August 5th, 2023.
Are there any questions for staff? We'll open a public hearing for comments. Are there any? Is there anyone here to speak at on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing and I'll ask for a motion.
Move for approval on first reading.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield. Yes. Rodriguez. Holmes.
Aye.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes. Motion carries and we'll move to public hearing 2023-582.
Larley Highland, Director of Public Works. Honorable Mayor and members of the Council, this is a public hearing to consider an ordinance amending Chapter 22, Streets, Sidewalks, and Certain Other Public Places of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Waco, Texas, by adding a new Article 7 entitled Street Maintenance Fee, providing for definitions, making certain findings, providing for creation of a street maintenance special revenue fund, providing for administration of this Article 7, establishing a street maintenance fee, providing for calculation of fees, providing for billing of street maintenance fee, and penalties and remedies for non-payment, providing for an appeal and hearing process, providing for exemption, providing for no waiver of immunity, providing for discontinuation of street maintenance fee, providing a severability clause, providing a savings clause, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and findings, and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law.
Are there any questions for staff? We'll open up a public hearing for comments. Is there anyone here to speak on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing and I'll ask for a motion. Oh, sorry.
Mayor, we have one speaker for this item.
Oh, I apologize. That's right, we do. Sorry, Mr. Ephraim Herring. Evening.
Hey, my name is Ephraim Herring. I live at 1044 Chestnut. I have concerns about this fee. I know Colleen has the same exact fee. What Colleen has theirs is directly stating it's only for the benefit of the businesses and the residents that lives in that area. And that fee can only be used to repair the existing roads. My concerns is, and what this fee is, the elderly, because if you do $10 a month, that's running around $120 extra onto a fixed income. My other concern is, where's it going to be to use that? I mean, if you could do special projects, I know Lakeshore Drive is going to be using it because every 2 years it's going to be repaired because of the way it's designed and the contour of the roadway. The next concern is the number of people who are going to be paying. If it's just going to be for residents, what about people coming in for baseball games, football games, track games, for every other event that's happening in the city of Waco? And my major concern about this whole thing is it going to be stuck, how are you going to collect it? Is it going to be stuck on somebody's water bill? Because if they're barely struggling now to pay their water bill, an extra $10 a month will hurt them bad. And also too, in this consideration there, the elderly, we really need to consider exemption for the elderly. And if you don't have a car, you not have benefit from the roads at all. And last but not least, it was a monthly for Colleen. They changed it to where it's an annual event. God bless you. Y'all be safe.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Is there anyone else here to speak on this item? If not, we'll close the public hearing. I'll ask for a motion.
Move for approval.
Motion, first and a second. I'll address some of those concerns because I think that's valid. I think that's, those are good questions and something that we've wrestled through in terms of where the work is going to be done. There's work being done on our streets all over the city. I don't think there's a part of the city, there's not a council district or a neighborhood where you can't drive and see torn up street work being done. So we're comprehensively trying to address the derelict streets in the community and also build capacity for new ones. The way I look at this is we structured this to where this fee is mostly paid for by businesses who generate a lot of traffic. Homeowners pay a very small amount, or residents rather pay a very small amount in comparison to the scale that puts the burden on businesses that are generating traffic. So in my mind, this is an equitable approach that allows us to do the tax exemptions for people 65 and older, disabled, and homeowners that we were able to roll out last year. We have to do street work. This is a mechanism by which we're equitably able to structure the financing for that by a street fee that has the greatest burden on the users who generate the most traffic, and at the same time roll out our 65 and older disability and general homeowner property tax exemptions.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, but there's also not going to be a fee levied for, we're working on figuring out a way for those who don't have cars, isn't that correct?
Correct.
That they won't be levied that fee, isn't that correct, Paul?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Motion and second, please poll the council.
Fairfield. Rodriguez. Holmes. Porteroo.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, the motion carries. And we will move on to the consent agenda, which consists of resolutions 2023-583 through 609 and 619. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Fairfield. Rodriguez. Holmes.
Aye.
Porteroo.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Motion carries. Next we have ordinance number 2023-610.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, amending certain portions of sections 2.2 definitions, 2.3 clarification concerning the term subdivision plan, 3.3 required documents, 5.2 permanent improvements, and 5.4 approved construction plans and specifications and record drawing plans and Appendix B subdivisions of the Code of Ordinances for the purpose of complying with revisions to the Texas Local Government Code, Chapter 212, per House Bill 3699 of the 88th regular session. repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield.
Yes.
Rodriguez. Holmes. Bordereau.
Yes.
Yes.
Meek.
Motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-611.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, abandoning a 20-foot wide general utility easement to the City of Waco described as 1.49 acres of land in the BB&C Railroad Survey, abstract number 160, in McLennan County, Texas, and being out of that 1.61 acre City of Waco, Texas 20-foot wide general utility easement described in volume 1673, page 246 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas, and across that 116.64 acres described in a deed to Waco Construction LLC in instrument 20130-21952 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas. Finding no duty to maintain, authorizing the city manager to execute quitclaim deeds, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield. Rodriguez. Holmes. Bordereau.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-612.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, abandoning the right-of-way of Jackson Avenue between 10th and 11th Streets, described as a 0.11 acres of land in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, being a part of Jackson Avenue as shown in Block B of the J.W. Mann's addition to the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, as per plat recorded in Volume 28, page 243 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas. Finding no duty to maintain, authorizing the city manager to execute quitclaim deeds, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield. Rodriguez. Holmes.
Aye.
Bordereau.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, the motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-613.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code, providing that the zoning map shall be changed that certain properties described as lots 4 through 10 in Block 2, Geisler Addition, known as 1811, 1813, 1817, 1819, 1821, and 1829 Meridian Avenue, shall be changed from C2 district classification to become and be designated to R2 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance is approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield. Rodriguez. Holmes. Bordereau.
Yes.
Ewing. Meek.
That motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-614.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code. Provide the zoning map shall be changed that certain property described as lots 3A and 4, Block 3, Cohen Addition, known as 1816 Morrow Avenue, shall be changed from R3C district classification and become and be designated to O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
I'll move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield. Rodriguez. Holmes. Bordereau.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Motion carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-616.
Only 615, Mayor?
Sorry, 615.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code, Provide the zoning map shall be changed that certain property described as Lot 17, Block 7, Waco Heights Addition, known as 3501 West Waco Drive, shall be changed from O2 district classification and become and be designated to O3 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finally determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Approval on second reading.
Any discussion? Please poll the councilman.
Fairfield. Rodriguez.
Aye.
Holmes. Borderoot.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Yes, that motion carries, and we'll move to ordinance 2023-616.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of said code. Provide the zoning map shall be changed so that certain property described as Lot 11, Block 36, Farwell Heights Addition, known as 1915 Reuter Avenue, shall be changed from C-through district classification and become and be designated to R2 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finally determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Second, any discussion? Please poll the council.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
Holmes. Borderoot.
Yes.
Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-617.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, providing the comprehensive plan be amended to change the land use designation from A, suburban residential and open space, to institutional and properties described as 1, a 58.690 acre tract of land out of a Lot 1 and Lot 2, Block 1, Taylor Estate Edition, in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, according to the plat thereof recorded in the McLennan County Clerk's document 2022000675 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas. And 2, a 1.708 acre tract of land located in the Thomas J. Chambers Survey, abstract number 7, in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, and being a portion of that land described as a tract there in the deeds to Helen Marie Taylor, recorded in McLennan County Clerk's document 20140193994, 20140193995, and 2014026456 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas, and described as Tract 1 in a deed to Helen Marie Taylor, recorded in volume 1552, page 247 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas, and being in the undeveloped plat of J.W. Taylor's addition to the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, according to the plat thereof, recorded in volume 90, page 31 of the deed records of McLennan County, Texas, known as a portion of 2324 South University Parks Drive, B, suburban residential and open space to mixed flex, on property described as 12.354 acre tract of land out of Lot 1 and Lot 2, Block 1, Taylor Estate Edition, in the City of Waco, McLennan County, Texas, according to the plat thereof recorded under McLennan County Records 2022000675 and the official public records of McLennan County, Texas, known as another portion of 2324 South University Parks Drive, providing the Code of Ordinances be amended by revising Section 28-247 and Chapter 28 zoning of the Code. Further, the zoning map shall be changed. The properties described above shall be changed from A, M2 to 02, and B, M2 to C2 district classification, providing for penalties, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and finding and determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance was approved by a 4-0 council vote on first reading on August 1st, 2023.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on second reading.
Second.
Any discussion?
Reading by our city attorney there.
Please poll the council.
Aye.
Holmes.
Aye.
Borderoot. Ewing.
Yes.
Meek.
Carries. We'll move to ordinance 2023-618.
An ordinance of the City of Waco, Texas, approving a boundary agreement via an interlocal agreement with the City of McGregor, Texas, to alter both the city's water certificates of convenience and necessity, or CCN, service areas, and the city limit boundaries between the City of Waco and the City of McGregor. Approving a purchase and sales agreement for the conveyance and acceptance of a 1.382 acre parcel of land located at the northwest intersection of U.S. Highway 84 at Val Verde Road and out of the Lorenzo Day Bragg Survey, abstract number 101, McLennan Appraisal District ID number 372622 from McGregor, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date, and finally determining the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law. This ordinance comes to council on first reading.
Is there a motion?
Move for approval on first reading.
Second.
Any discussion? Please poll the council.
Bearfield,
Yes.
Rodriguez, Holmes, Porter, Ewing,
Yes.
Meade.
Motion carries, and we'll move to the hearing of visitors. During the hearing of visitors section of the agenda, we provide an opportunity for the public to present concerns or address issues that are not matters for consideration listed on an agenda. Council is unable to conduct discussion, but we will listen, ask staff to look into concerns, and provide follow-up. Please provide registration information so that staff can contact you if necessary. If you have handouts, please let us know at the beginning of your presentation, and staff will distribute those to council. If you're unable to approach the podium due to physical limitations, a microphone is available to be brought to you. Is there anyone present who would like to speak during the hearing of visitors? If not, we will close the hearing of visitors. Are there any announcements council would like to make?
Mayor, if you would, as we all know, we are blissfully entering into back-to-school time. I was very pleased to get my children out of my house. But I did want to, there was a couple of things that happened, long-term and short-term, that I just want to acknowledge. And as we do on the MyWaco app, you can submit your request, but you can also submit some praises and compliments as well. So I'd like to take the time to thank everybody who had something to do with getting Carver Middle School open. I know that it was a tragic loss that we had when the school burned a few years ago, and Waco ISD was diligent in getting a brand new facility rebuilt, but I know that our city staff had a lot to do with that, and I just wanted to thank those who were involved. I mean, I'm gonna leave somebody out, but I know it's inspections, I know it's solid waste, I know it's all of those things. And, you know, because they were on a deadline, we were on a deadline, and so I appreciate everybody who had anything to do with getting the school open on time. And I'm not just saying that because I'm married to the Dean of Students. The other thing is that
He's happy about it too, though, right?
I mean, you know. So the other thing is we have some community folks who do above and beyond during back to school time, and I was privileged enough a couple of years ago to issue a proclamation for Big Binky Day, because Davion Mims is a guy a local rapper who has given back. This was his 13th back to school drive, and he does this every year. Just because he loves Waco and he is devoted to his city. He doesn't even live here anymore, but he always comes back to make sure that, I mean, as many folks as he can help, and been doing the drive-through since COVID, and, you know, with not only backpacks full of school supplies, but shoes, you know, and they're incredibly orderly. It's 2 per car. Your children need to be there. So, I mean, you know, it's first come, first serve, all those things. But this year, NBA star and Waco native Kenrich Williams was also there, and he gave backpacks out at University High the day before. So I just wanted to give them some shout outs because they love their city, and they continue to ride for their city and come back and give to their city. And thanks to Waco PD, I want to say publicly, because it is a drive-through, there may be some traffic issues sometimes in the neighborhood. And they came through and were just incredibly awesome to work with. I was there at the beginning and getting the folks lined up, making sure everything was seamless. And so I just appreciate everybody who was involved, but I'm a special shout out to Binky for loving his city the way he does.
Like a hammer on the block. I'll second that. I'll second that with a big Binky lyric there, but I actually remember that when that was kind of hot. But I wanted to say, Councilmember Holmes and I were able to attend Midway Middle School's ribbon cutting this past week, which I believe was kind of closed out their big bond building project, which was a major renovation of Midway Middle, using local contractors, to be noted, which was a big deal there, successful and under budget. Excited for all the Midway School kids who today went back to school, and our Waco ISD kids who are enjoying the new Carver facility, and hopefully soon to be Tennyson next year for my kids, Kendrick in I think about a year or so, and Waco High in about 2 years. So looking forward to all the new facilities, these great new bond programs that a lot of our council members have advocated for. So looking forward to that, and wishing well all the parents, teachers, and kids as they begin the new school year.
Agreed.
Back together.
Very well said. It's really fun to see how people are so loyal to their city and will come back and give back. Very good. Are there any requests for future agenda items? If not, then this meeting is adjourned at 6:25 PM.
Yay.